Most people don't destroy their lives with one big mistake. They destroy them with small habits they repeat every day without even noticing. A missed morning here, a sharp word there, a grudge they water like a garden. None of it feels significant in the moment. That's exactly why it works. Today you'll discover the things a Stoic would never do, because each one quietly steals your peace, your discipline, and your future. Picture an ordinary Tuesday. Nothing dramatic happens, no crisis, no tragedy, no single moment you could point to later and say, that's when it went wrong. And yet by the end of the day, something in you feels smaller than it did that morning. You said things you didn't mean, you scrolled through other people's lives and came away feeling like your own wasn't enough. You replayed an old argument for the fourth time, sharpening your comeback for a conversation that ended months ago. None of it was a catastrophe. All of it added up. This is how most people actually lose themselves, not in a single collapse, but in 1,000 quiet surrenders they never bothered to notice. A Stoic understood this better than almost anyone in history, because Stoicism was never really about big heroic virtue performed once in a lifetime. It was about the small, unglamorous choices made 100 times a day, when nobody is watching and nothing seems to be at stake. So let's talk about what they refused to do and why refusing it mattered so much. The first is complaining without acting. Not venting once, not processing something painful out loud to a friend who can hold it with you. That's human, and even the Stoics allowed for grief and frustration. What they wouldn't do is turn complaint into a lifestyle. There's a reason for that beyond discipline. Your brain is built with a bias toward noticing threats and problems faster than it notices anything good. A survival mechanism from a much older, more dangerous world. Every time you rehearse a grievance without moving 1 inch toward fixing it, you're not releasing pressure, you're strengthening the exact mental pathway that will make you notice more problems tomorrow. The mind you're training today is the mind you'll be stuck inside next year. A person who complains about the same job, the same relationship, the same unfairness for months on end isn't processing pain anymore. They're rehearsing it until it becomes their personality. The Stoic instinct was different. Name the problem once clearly, and then ask the only question that actually matters. What, if anything, is in my power to change about this right now? If the answer is nothing, the complaint has already done its only useful job. Anything after that is just self-inflicted static. The second is chasing approval from people whose opinion was never going to make you whole. This one is harder to catch, because it doesn't look like weakness. It looks like ambition. It looks like posting the photo, taking the job you don't want, because it sounds impressive at dinner parties, editing your personality in real time based on the face someone just made. Underneath it is one of the oldest mechanisms in human psychology. We are wired to seek belonging because for most of our history, being cast out of the group meant death. That wiring hasn't gone anywhere. It's just been handed a phone. Every like, every nod of approval, every moment someone seems impressed releases a small hit of reward in the brain. And that reward trains you to keep performing for it. The danger isn't that you enjoy being liked. The danger is that you quietly hand over the authorship of your own life to an audience that was never going to hold the pen responsibly. A Stoic drew a hard line between what belongs to you and what doesn't. Your character, your effort, your integrity, your choices, those are yours. Other people's opinions of you were never yours to control, and chasing them is like trying to steer a car using someone else's hands on the wheel. You can spend a whole life performing for applause and still end it a stranger to yourself. The third is holding on to grudges long after the moment that caused them has passed. This is the one that feels the most justified, because usually you were actually wronged, something unfair happened. Someone you trusted let you down, and so you keep the account open, replaying it, refining the version of events where you come out looking right and they come out looking cruel. Here's what almost nobody tells you about that decision. The person you're angry at is very likely living their life completely undisturbed by the story running on a loop in your head, while your own body is the one paying interest on that loan. Chronic resentment has been linked to elevated stress hormones, disrupted sleep, and a nervous system that stays braced for a threat that already happened and isn't happening again. You are not punishing the person who hurt you. You are volunteering to keep hurting yourself on their behalf, indefinitely for free. This doesn't mean pretending the wrong didn't happen, and it doesn't mean staying in a situation that keeps harming you. It means recognizing that the event is over, but the suffering is optional and self-renewing. The Stoics called anger a kind of temporary madness because in the moment it convinces you that ruining your own peace is somehow a form of justice. It never is. The only justice available to you is the one where you stop paying a debt the other person never asked you to collect. The fourth is quitting the moment discipline breaks, instead of simply returning to it. This is where most self-improvement quietly dies. Someone commits to waking up early, to training their body, to controlling their temper, to finally becoming the version of themselves they've been describing for years. And then, inevitably, they miss a day. They snap at someone they love. They eat the thing, skip the workout, scroll the phone at midnight instead of sleeping, and in that moment a story shows up that sounds almost reasonable. Well, I already broke it, so what's the point now? That single sentence has ended more transformations than any external failure ever could. It isn't the missed morning that costs you, it's the decision to treat one missed morning as proof that the whole effort was a lie. One of history's most disciplined men filled private notebooks with reminders to himself, principles he had clearly failed to live up to more than once because he needed to hear them again. He didn't write to himself as someone who had already arrived. He wrote as someone still returning, again and again, without disgust at how many times it took. That's the actual secret hiding inside Stoic discipline. It was never about never falling. It was about refusing to let a fall become a residence. You don't need a perfect week. You need the next single choice. The fifth is reacting instantly to things you have no power over. Traffic, someone else's rudeness. A comment that wasn't meant to sting, but did anyway. The weather on the one day you needed it to cooperate. There is a particular kind of exhaustion that comes from spending your limited daily energy fighting things that were never going to negotiate with you. The oldest and simplest Stoic tool is also the most demanding one. Before you respond to anything, ask whether it's actually inside your control. Your judgment is, your effort is, your next action is, the traffic is not. The other person's opinion is not, the outcome, once you've done your part, is not. Most suffering comes not from events themselves, but from insisting that events should have gone differently, as if reality owes you a rewrite. The Stoic wasn't calm because nothing bothered them. They were calm because they stopped wasting force on doors that were never going to open and saved all of it for the ones that would. The sixth, and this one is quieter than the rest, is announcing your own virtue, talking constantly about your discipline, your struggles, your wins, your restraint, as though character needs an audience to be real. There's an old piece of Stoic advice that still lands with force today. Be careful how often you talk about your own achievements and hardships, because however satisfying it feels to tell the story, it rarely lands on the listener the way it lands on you. Real character doesn't need a caption. The version of you that only shows up when someone's watching was never the real one to begin with. It was a performance wearing your name. Notice what actually connects all six of these. None of them are single catastrophic decisions. Every single one is a small, repeatable habit, and habits work on you the same way water works on stone. Not through force, but through repetition. Every time you complain instead of act, chase approval instead of building character, hold a grudge instead of releasing it, quit instead of returning, react instead of choosing, perform instead of simply being. You are casting a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. And every time you refuse to do those things, you're casting a vote in the opposite direction. Neither vote feels significant on its own. That's exactly the point. Character was never built in the dramatic moment. It was built in the 10,000 ordinary ones that led up to it. So here's the shift. Stop asking whether today was a good day or a bad day, because that question is too big and too vague to actually change anything. Ask something smaller instead. Right now, in this exact moment, am I about to complain or about to act? Am I about to perform for someone or actually choose for myself? Am I about to carry an old wound one more day or finally set it down? Am I about to let one broken morning convince me the whole effort was pointless, or am I simply going to return to it the way every disciplined person before you had to return, over and over, without shame? You don't need a perfect year. You never did. You need the next choice, made a little more deliberately than the last one. That's the entire discipline. Not grand transformation, just refusal repeated daily until refusal becomes who you are.